Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
I'm Michael.
And today, Mike's going to give me his review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Because we're born in Ohio.
So, how are you?
I'm great. So you're going to tell me about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, sure. Is that what you want to talk about?
I thought that's what we were doing. You were talking about something else?
No, let's talk about that.
How do you feel about the title?
So, initially,
Mm-hmm.
what's Robert Rodriguez's Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought he was playing off of a little bit. I mean, I knew this was not going to be, history accurate anyway.
Right.
Because he was adding in all kinds of shit. But the idea left me a little bit unsettled. You know, I've read the book and all the shit, about Sharon Tate and what they did to her and all that stuff. And I thought it was kind of a little bit insensitive to have it in there. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be like a backstory, like they saw in the news, they saw this or that, so they wouldn't play with it.
Mm-hmm. But she's like, she's a character.
She's
in it.
Yeah, she's definitely in it. And then as it kept getting closer and closer to when I knew this was going to happen, Quentin Tarantino does it amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
But then you completely get why he puts that title at the end of the film.
Okay.
He waits to the end of the film and then he gives you the title. And I think that's a very good way of doing why he did what he did.
Okay. Well, I know kind of like roughly kind of what the story is like, at least the historical thing, because it has to do with Charlie Manson.
Yeah. They're like a dark figure kind of in the background the whole time, but because you know who they are.
Yeah.
As the viewer, you know who they are. So it's like an unsettling feeling that that thing that's terrible is going to eventually happen here.
Okay.
And you'll see them a little bit here and there. And but
it's like mainly about Leo and Brad Pitt's character.
And Brad Pitt. And they are equal, by the way. Yeah. So I was wondering, because I fucking love both of these actors. Yeah. Like I love them, and I didn't want one to have less or more screen time than the other, because I love both of them equally.
Right.
And he does find a way to have these two together for the majority of the film, and then when they're split up, have their own little story arc as well.
Right.
And
because it seems like it's it's less about the actual historical event and more about those two characters.
Yes.
And like being in their twilight years of their career.
Yes.
Which is an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering if, when you were talking about like being insensitive, if that would be a contributor, because they're obviously doing a story that has some historical basis and it's a terrible thing, but you're focusing on two dudes like wondering like, do I still got it?
Right.
It seems like, is this the way to go? So
that movie, I'm obviously going to keep talking about, but when the movie ended, I had to sit there, and then on the drive home, I was like, did I like this movie, or did I, do I think it's still just insensitive to what happened, and
right.
it bothers me. It took me a full day to digest, to the point where I loved it.
Okay.
He's borderline messing with it to be insensitive to the true nature of what happens to this woman, but that's not what it's really about. And he does his normal Quentin thing and twists it all up, and it's
I was just wondering like if it was like this thing where they had this historical backdrop, but really he just wanted to kind of tell this almost inside joke-ish type story about 1960s Hollywood and like production and this, that, and the other, and
yeah, no, not so much. It's mostly really about just this aging actor who is past his not his prime of being a good actor. It's that he's just not getting the roles as the main lead guy anymore because he's gotten older. He's not as popular. Right. And then his stuntman, who's been a stuntman for years, is basically his driver because they became friends over all the years of him being a stuntman, which is Brad Pitt's character, to the point where Brad Pitt's character can't get a fucking job anymore because he's getting older. Although dude looks still ripped as I fucking hate him. He's such a good looking guy, and his body's just fucking stupid at his age.
Well, I mean, as a celebrity, part of your job is just to look good.
Well, we're fucking up because we're celebrities.
No, we're not. Yeah. Yeah. Look back on this, YouTube.
So here's the thing. Leo is great. Mm-hmm. He's got some really great scenes where he acted really great. Of course he did.
Is this another potential nomination type movie for him?
I don't know who would, in my opinion, Brad Pitt kind of steals it, even though I would consider Leo to be the lead. Mm-hmm. But Brad he just Brad Pitts it, man. He Brad Pitts it like
I love
Fight
Brad
Club-ish.
Pitt.
He Brad Pitt, you know what I'm saying? He's just amazing.
Actually, he's my favorite Brad Pitt is when he's being kind of a loose cannon, kind of crazy, like 12 Monkeys or
so
Fight
take
Club.
that, but say that's the same guy, okay? Mm-hmm. But he matures. Okay. So he's more calm.
But he still has shit in his head.
Yeah, but he's got that shit in his head. So he's showing it in a very calm way while dishing out I'm telling you, there's a lot of great shit, and Brad Pitt's just unbelievable in it.
All right.
So's Leo. But really, it's just the story arc about these two aging people trying to still keep, like you were saying, trying to keep their careers alive. Yeah. And with the backdrop of the Sharon Tate story with Manson family. And then he plays with the story of the real story of that and inserts these two guys into that story, inserts these two actors living right next door to Sharon Tate and Polanski's house that the Manson family goes to in real life. Mm-hmm. And just takes a real life event and just plops in fictional people and says, here, this is what would have happened if these people actually existed in this world.
It's like an alternate history.
It is. And it is ruining something in a way. But it's...
Because, I mean, that's what he did with Inglourious Bastards. That's alternate history. And it was fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome, yes. And for some reason, I think it's because he made it such a out of this world thing, where this one is, you're in that time period. You're with what's going on. You're living, you're seeing Sharon Tate kind of, he does give you some stuff to show that she was, she was pregnant. She was, she moved here, her career was just getting started. She's a sensitive, kind, loving person. Like, he gives you enough of her, even though she's very much a minor character in it. Yeah. And then like the whole time, it's just that creeping anxiety, knowing that something bad's going to happen.
When they were showing this film at like Sundance and whatnot, some reporter asked Quentin Tarantino about the lack of screen time for Margot Robbie and was getting on him on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
His response was basically like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Good. I'm telling you, I remember reading that. Mm-hmm. Bullshit. She's in that movie a lot.
Now, I think the cut that we've gotten theatrically is a little different than what he did at Sundance, so he might have added more of her into it. But given who he is, I don't think he gives a fuck about critics that much. So I don't think...
Nor should he.
He would do that just because of that. Yeah. And obviously, it doesn't sound like that's the story he was really telling. He was telling this other, buddy growing old story. It's like his version of grumpy old men.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's not as violent, and there is violence in this film, but it doesn't come till basically one major scene. Okay. And I don't know. It was just.
Is it more stylized like his more recent stuff has been, or is it closer to like how his beginnings were where it was less stylized? and more
it's
like
less stylized. It's not like a Kill Bill where there's kind of like it's really nothing like that at all.
like Django was stylized, and
yeah, no.
So it was a little more real.
It's a little more real. And you're just basically it's kind of like with Pulp Fiction with the two hitmen, except you're falling around these two not completely washed up, but it's getting there.
Okay.
And I love seeing fuck Brad Pitt, man. His fucking hairstyle. God damn it. Put that man with a shaved head, hot as fuck. Put him with the fucking 70s parted hairstyle, hot as fuck him. It's just jealousy speaking. But I'm just trying to tell you, he's a good looking man.
Okay.
Thank God I look just like him. That's all I'm saying.
No. No, I'll agree with other people that think that you look like, what's his butt? How do you pronounce his last name?
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah. You look closer to him than you do Brad Pitt.
Only when I'm clean shaven.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
It's like cannons being fired outside.
It might have been like the water heater. Yeah. They won't hear that. So we just wasted somebody's time.
Anyway.
So I have some like typical questions I have about Tarantino films that I ask people if I haven't seen the movie. Is it overly wordy? He likes doing that whole
exactly what you mean.
Dialogue thing, but a lot of it's like kind of almost like in talk where he's just like, if he's really into a topic, he'll just do a scene where people talk about that thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to do with the story.
Yeah, this is not.
Okay, that's good.
This is...
He did that in Death Proof quite a bit.
Oh, God, Death Proof. Yeah. I didn't like that movie.
When they sat around that table and they were just talking about...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're talking about like stunt people or something for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Don't they do another like 10-minute shot of just the girls in the car just talking about something? I forget what it was for like ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. This is fine-tuned down to... There's a scene where they kind of showed a little bit in the trailer where Leo kind of loses his shit because he thinks he did a really bad acting spot in one of the films, and that's longer than I saw in the trailer, and I was happy for it because it's how it's like not because we're not relatable one way, shape, or form, but I'm trying to say how you like that where I did those bunch of cuts in front of the mirror with the clown face and gas mask where I'm just crying and shit,
right?
So it's like how you liked that type deal thing, except Leo's just losing his shit in the trailer. And they just let it go. And they do hard cuts where he's just still fucking losing it.
Yeah.
And it was great to see him, Leo, do that.
There's something about watching somebody, like if they're in a groove, like that scene that we did, I felt like you were in a groove with that. So if like Leo was like in a groove and just like going to town.
You could tell Quentin just said...
Yeah, just leave the camera on.
Just keep... And
let it go until he stops.
Yeah. And then you could tell that's what they did. It was great. I loved it. I loved that.
It's like in Django when he really cut his hand and he just went with it. And they were like, Tarantino's in the back like, keep rolling. Just keep going. Because people are like, whoa, do we stop?
Yeah.
He's bleeding. And he's like, no, just keep it going. He's doing a thing.
But honestly, my favorite thing about the film is Brad Pitt. And Leo's the main.
Okay.
Like he does have a little more screen time, but just this dry. he's just dry and yet a badass because he's a stuntman.
Yeah.
And just watching him, he's just Brad Pitt. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, if you say, oh, it's Tom Cruise, he's just being Tom Cruise again. Not to jump all over Tom again. Because I do like most of Dom's movies. But Brad Pitt was being Brad Pitt, but in a very, very cool, 70s kind of cool fucking way. So, I really liked it.
Okay. Was this told in a linear fashion?
Yes.
Okay. And then... Since his movies supposedly all live in the same world, how do you think this one fits in his other 8 films?
Like which one it would be in which world closest to, you mean?
No, like apparently all of his films happen in the same world. Like there's this whole thing that Kill Bill is actually one of the movies that Uma Thurman's character from Pulp Fiction played in. Like that's like a film in his world.
Oh, I see.
So Kill Bill is like a movie within a movie, technically.
Okay.
If you go from it from that standpoint, like because she was an actress.
Yeah.
So and they were saying like, oh, that was one of her roles. Kill Bill was one of her roles.
I would say, this one's most directly related to Jackie Brown. Like it seems that exact. However, I didn't like Jackie Brown. This is a better.
I need to watch it again. I feel like I did like it, but I don't.
I liked Robert De Niro.
I don't remember it.
I remember I liked Robert De Niro in it. I don't like the one.
Michael Keaton in that one? I feel like he was.
Was he? I haven't watched it.
I could be wrong.
I've seen it
been
once,
a long,
and I'm just kind of
time.
like, this is the first film of his I don't really care for, and thankfully it was not. It just took me for some reason, and maybe when you watch it, maybe you'll get what I couldn't. It didn't click whether I really liked it or I just like I don't know if do I want to watch that again? And then after it kind of sinks in and and I'm like, you know what? No, I really, really liked this movie. It was just, I don't know. It's messed up. Anyway, I would definitely say you must see it. Yeah, I mean, you have to see it. You have to.
I will. I think there's only one of his films I haven't seen.
Which one?
Hateful Eight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, haven't
That's
seen
basically
it
a long stage play. It was actually amazingly.
I wanted to see it.
It's long as fuck.
Is it?
But this one's long. This one's 2 hours and 50 minutes, basically.
Jesus.
That doesn't include the credits and everything else, and it's a long movie, but it didn't feel like it. I didn't get up to pee once.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised too. But no, Hateful Eight. Oh my God, that's a beautifully shot film.
Okay, I just never got around to it. It's it's hard. There's a bunch of movies I have in my queue that I just have not seen.
Now that you said this about the whole worlds being interconnected and whatnot, they were trying to get Leo's character to play in all these spaghetti westerns. So they kept talking about, you need to play in these spaghetti westerns. You need to be a bad guy. You need to be this stuff. And
there you go.
There you go.
That could be.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, you should see Hateful Eight, but you're watching basically a long stage play. Really, it's just it's interesting because it's a fucking film. But oh my God, Kurt Russell in it, everybody in it was great. But it's literally like you went to a theater and watched a play, not a film.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like the most blatant connection is like the Vega brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
Being in different films.
Right.
Like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Was somebody from Dusk Till Dawn of Vega?
Oh shit.
I don't know. It's not really neither here nor there. But I'm saying like, I think it's cool that that's like a running theme in his things that somehow they're all kind of related to each other.
Wait a minute. In Kill Bill, the guy Quentin always uses in all of his films.
Michael, whatever.
Yes. So he's in this too, but he looks just like he does from Kill Bill. Like he almost the exact same. Was he an actor? I forget what he was in Kill Bill now.
No, I mean he was one of the assassins.
Because now that you said that, he looks just like I think he was almost dressed exactly the same way. Like he had the little fucking thing.
Well, the thing about that though is still like this movie takes place in a different time frame than Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is a more modern film. Right. But I don't know. I just think it's a cool little thing.
I think it's a cool little thing too. It's kind of like how Stephen King, all of his books they're all connected. Mm-hmm. He just can't end any of them right. But they're all connected.
Yeah. So where would you put this on the rank of Tarantino films?
Of his 9 films. This is his 9th film.
Apparently he's only going to do 10.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if he wants to do Kill Bill Volume 3 or if he's going to count the Star Trek movie that he wants to do as one of his films, which I'm like, okay, you're making your own rules about what is your movie or not.
Yeah.
I guess if he just writes that one and doesn't direct it, it'd be fine. That would work out.
I want to say because I can go back and forth between Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, which one of those two is my favorite based on the day.
Okay.
Between those two, but I would say this is probably in like a third or fourth of his. It's. But the odd thing was, I would leave any Kill Bill movie, or I'd leave any of those other movies, and immediately be like, "Fucking love that. That was great."
Yeah.
And this one, it
had to sink in a little bit.
Had to sink in. Yeah.
It's like a barbecue sauce that didn't hit you right away.
And came out the wrong end later.
No. Like you had a chicken wing, and it had this sauce on, and you're like, oh, it wasn't too bad. And all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, you're like, ooh, my throat burns. Do you hear my cat?
I didn't know if that was some kidnapped child you had locked in a closet.
No, that's not my thing.
No.
No.
What the fuck is your cat doing?
She's singing the song of her people. Sometimes she gets real primal, right?
Yeah.
One particular toy, it's called a kickaroo. It looks like a frog without arms and legs, and it has a beaver tail for some reason. Don't know. She'll carry that thing around, and while it's in her mouth, she'll do these like primal fucking growls and meows. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then she delivers it to us. Like, I got this for you. And I'm like, thanks. And I throw it off the bed.
Is the like catnip or some shit in it?
I don't know.
And where do you find these weird ass toys?
I don't know. We just happened to grab that one.
And
she loves that one.
It's cute.
All right. Now, overall grade for the film. Like, you rank it around 4th in his 9 films.
Yeah.
If you were to give this movie a grade, which, I mean, Tarantino's pretty consistent with his films as far as quality. So I imagine you're going to give this a high grade.
Yeah. There's a couple of weird shots that make me want to, that I thought maybe you should have made that a little bit shorter.
So you're going to be nitpicky with your grade.
My immediate thought was A-. Immediate.
Okay.
But if there's a couple of things I was like, I wish that was a little shorter, or that was a little too much. Let's not do that little couple of frames and do this instead. So if I'm nitpicking it down, B+, worst grade. But my immediate reaction was A-.
This brings up a question for me. Do you grade certain directors harder than others? Because I feel like if this was like a shitty horror film, and you have this soft spot for shitty horror films, and you're like, you know what, this was really good, and you gave it like a B+.
Finding a horror movie that's any way decent in any way, shape, or form is almost like an act of God anyway. So
but yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lower bar.
I'm sure I do that because once you're on a pedestal in my mind, okay,
you got to stay up on that pedestal.
I expect you to keep, and I know it's not easy. It's like the guy that did 30 Days a Night, Slade, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did he do after that?
He did the Friday the 13th movie, which I actually liked very much. And everyone panned it to shit. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? It was actually really well shot.
Friday the 13th and the Curse of Jason's Weed Patch. That's what I call it.
Look, they had to have a reason for those guys out there, all right? What's a better thing than fucking weed? But I'm trying to say...
I'm not really giving that movie shit. I just think it's hilarious.
The way that he did it he did it more violent, like a faster, violent thing than the other Jason. And I thought he did a great fucking job. So any Slade movie, and I know I've seen something else that he did since, and I'm like, this wasn't a fucking good movie. Like, it wasn't even that, like, it wasn't shot great. It wasn't... The acting wasn't good. Then I get pissed
off of that. What I just lose the title? The vampire one.
30 Days a Night.
30 Days a Night. Yeah. I wanted to say 90 for some reason. That'd be a long ass time.
That'd be a long.
I thought that movie was so fucking awesome when I saw it.
Yeah. And
coming off of that, it's like, okay, you set the bar really high for yourself, but you really just kind of fucked yourself.
Right.
I'm gonna go the opposite way. Just keep getting better. I'll hold back. I know I can do better. I'll hold back a little bit. So people they see my next film, they're like, oh shit, he's getting pretty good. And then eventually, I unleash my full force.
Your full
and
30.
They're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Where has this guy been?
Where's Rob Zombie going? He's just going fucking, he's here at like level 2 and he's never left it. Not ever. I don't give a shit what you guys say. His fucking movies.
I'm sorry. I disagree with you on one thing.
What?
What was the first one called? House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah, that was...
I think Devil's Rejects, as far as technical filmmaking, is a much better film.
Sure.
I know you like you prefer the first film as like a story, I guess, or like you're into the weirdness of that.
Of all those... Sure, no.
I'm just talking about those two.
As a horror film, I preferred that one over all the other thriller horror, because he did the Halloween films, which were shit.
I don't care, but I'm just comparing those two films.
Go ahead.
I just think that second one is a much better film, technically shot better. Everything was better, like from a technical standpoint, in my mind.
Yeah, those fucking movies, okay, the ones that you guys like, the Devil's Rejects, and what is it, the 6 or 2 5s, and what the fuck the new one coming out is with the same characters.
I don't know that I'm gonna like that.
Anyway, it's too much like The Hills Have Eyes. It's too much like that to me. I don't mean the same story. I mean, it's almost the same vibe and feel all the way through it. And maybe I know that's probably what he's going for, that kind of... But his fucking wife cannot act, man. She drives me nuts. Fucking fruity. She drives me nuts. The bald guy, the old bald guy who should have been dead like, I don't know, 25 years ago, but he's still alive. That dude can't act.
I like that guy.
I don't like him.
Come on, that scene where the kid, he's like, don't you like clowns? Don't you think we're fucking funny?
Yeah, see, you just like it because the way he said fucking funny.
It's funny. I like it.
I don't care for him in these movies. The only guy that I think is a really good actor is
the one that looks like
the main, yeah, and he's
Antichrist Jesus.
And he's been in a ton of other films where like all horror. The guy just does horror, but he's been good in all those characters. Like he's a solid actor, but he's sticking his fucking wife in.
Why not?
She just doesn't.
Well, it's like the Resident Evil films.
She annoys me. She fucking annoys me.
Resident Evil, like the director that's married
Jovovich?
Yeah. He's like, well, if they keep giving us money, I'll keep giving my wife a paycheck.
But he didn't marry her until I think it was mid or end of the first film. Like they met.
Okay, and then they did like 6 more.
Yeah, those movies are so bad. They just kept getting like the first one was decent, and then they just went to shit. You know, they're rebooting the whole thing with James Wan, right? Like he's not directing; he's just producing.
That could be interesting.
Could be interesting. Maybe they'll stick more to the game and not shit all over the. Such terrible fucking movies. And I watched every one of them.
I think I missed 1 or 2 in there, but I watched a lot of them.
After like the second
one. I watched the 3D one in 3D. It was fucking great.
Did you really? They just kept getting more and more stupid. And the thing is, it's the same fucking story that they did from after like the second one. Like 3 through 6. It's the same damn story. It's just, stupid.
Obviously, we're done with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, A-. I would tell everyone you need to you got to go see it. Go into it knowing what the title means. Think about what the title means, and then maybe it wouldn't. I was too worried about. Not that I'm hypersensitive to Sharon Tate, but or even Marilyn, that's not what I meant. I mean,
so basically he's alluding to it being a fantasy.
Yes, but he doesn't. Which
like, this is story time.
Intelligent at the end. Yeah. He's like, and that was story time, and of course you already by then you know why. Mm-hmm. So it's clever. Hey, man, his writing, he's such a good writer. For all these fucking movies, it's just.
I just wish he wasn't so verbose at some points when it's meaningless to the story.
Right. You know, I don't think he was in this one, by the way, at all.
Interesting.
Unless I know I didn't see him.
I'm happy for that. He's very good. He just looks like the skeeziest motherfucker alive.
Yeah. Like his character in Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh,
that fits the way he looks perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if any of you out there have seen the film, let us know what you thought in the comments on our website or our YouTube channel.
Exciting.
Yeah. If you made it this far, you probably didn't.
Ooh,
I think our listener. Well, we
Our
just now
listener?
started doing the video on the YouTubes,
yeah.
but I think our listeners on the podcast get to the end maybe of the episode. I don't know.
I don't know.
YouTube, upward battle.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you got going on, bud? You got anything?
No.
Are you done with your fucking backyard bullshit?
Yes.
That's good.
I am hoping to write a lot this week.
That's exciting.
And work on some storyboard stuff for the idea that we had discussed before. And
Cool.
yeah.
Right on.
I hope. What do you have going on? You doing more?
Why are you?
Are you doing more of your?
What is this?
your
What is
art?
this?
I like this little thing here. I feel like I'm like a little peeper.
Yeah, you're creepy. Well, I've been working on our YouTube channel a lot.
Yeah, you have. I put you to work.
Yeah, this guy doesn't do a fucking thing. Been doing lots of YouTube research, and because I don't know if we talked about it last week, but we've introduced something that's only on YouTube, so you should go there and follow us. The rapid fire reviews. So if you want to know quickly,
Yeah.
if we recommend a movie or not, and let's face it, it's mainly Mike because I don't see as many movies as he does. You can check that out and get Mike's quick opinion about the movie.
Yeah.
He was really tired the first week we did it, so give him some slack.
Yeah, I was supposed to pound, some energy today to be more happy and lively or something for you.
Can we say something that's not pound more energy? That sounds really fucking weird. Anyway, that's what I've been working on, trying to get you guys more content, some variety of content. Yeah, now you can see what we look like. Today we're both wearing red shirts because we're fucking assholes. Not planned, but...
No, we crawled out of bed next to each other, and we just happened to grab...
Rolled over, disconnected. Other than that, I am trying to get stuff with my own art channel going. I've been working on logo and like assets for the channel. I'm kind of have a idea of how to go forward, and I have to like write a script for my first thing, which it's not like a scripted narrative. It's not like you're not coming there to see a story. You're coming there to see me do art, but the first thing I'm going to do is a video kind of setting up what the channel is, so that people like kind of get an idea of who I am, what I'm trying to do, blah, blah, blah. Get that out, and then I'll start doing some art, some time-lapse stuff, and probably talking over it. You're going to keep hearing these sweet tones.
Sultry tones.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's all they need. All right, so until next time, thank you for letting us all up in you, because we're bored in Ohio.
Hey, if you like what you just saw, we'd appreciate a like and subscribe, because, that helps us. And don't you want to help us? Look at him. He needs help. Hit that. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it hard. Hard. And then comment about how hard you hit it.